Cyclone MMA. You guys, I got some hot takes for you. I got some UFC hot takes, and I can already see the comment section. Just a bunch of, you guys calling me casual. That's okay. Some of these are very hot. Some of these are kind of tame. We're going to start with a hot one. Gilbert Burns is going to beat Khamzat Chimaev. I'm calling my shot. How? I don't know. Maybe he submits him on the ground. Maybe he knocks him out on the feet. Burns is a beast, dude. He's one of the best welterweights in the world. Khamzat Chimaev is also a beast. He's just dominated everyone he's fought in the UFC so far. But this is a big step up from the Leech. And I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see a war. And I think we're going to see a war that Gilbert Burns is more accustomed to, and that Gilbert Burns is going to be able to win. Nervous about this one. We're going to find out soon. But yeah, my next one, even hotter. Jon Jones will never win a fight again in the UFC. Okay, bear with me. Let me explain myself. Reminder, these are hot takes, okay? These are supposed to be out there. Now, Jon Jones, I will say, is one of the best fighters ever. I think a lot of people have him as the GOAT. I understand that. I understand there's a lot of people who don't because of the PED usage and everything. But Jon Jones is doing the heavyweight experiment. So you got Francis Ngannou there, Tom Aspinall, Alexander Volkov, Rosenstrike, Cyril Gane, Stipe Miocic. I mean, Tai Tuivasa. I think that's a matchup Jon could win. But there are a lot of fights there that are tough-ass fights. And when you look at Jon's resume as of recently, okay, he hasn't won a decisive victory since 2019 against Anthony Smith. And in that fight, he kneed Anthony Smith in the face when Smith was grounded and could have lost via disqualification. So that's rough. That would have been his second disqualification loss on his record. After that, it was Thiago Santos. Thiago Santos was on one leg for 90% of that fight. He tore his ACL, MCL, whatever other shit is in your leg. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Santos, he put up a good fight despite having one leg. Then there was Dominic Reyes. I personally thought Jon Jones won that fight. A lot of you disagree with me. I'm sure a lot of the people watching this video thought Dominic Reyes won that. A lot of the media scorecards had Reyes winning that. But when you think about it, the Santos and the Reyes fights, mad close. And that was in 2019 and 2020. He hasn't won a fight decisively since March of 2019. Now he's taken all this time off. It's 3 years later from that, and he wants to go up in weight and fight at heavyweight with all these beasts. He's not going to cut back down to light heavyweight. He's not going to fail at heavyweight and then come back down. Now, could he win at heavyweight? Maybe, but I could also see him going on a losing streak and maybe retiring after that. He's getting older. This is a young man's sport, and you don't want to take time off this late into your career. Now, I could be completely wrong here, but I'm calling my shot. Jon Jones, not another W in the UFC. He already is upset with them, so I think he's only got a couple fights left anyways, but that's what I'm thinking. All right, next one. All right, you guys are gonna hate me after the end of this video. My next one, Conor McGregor may be a champion again. I wouldn't bet on this one. I don't think it's highly likely. I still think there's a pretty damn good shot though. So Conor McGregor does not deserve to fight for the title, but he might. There's already talks about him fighting Charles Oliveira. I think Oliveira would take that fight. There's talks about him fighting Usman, which is just so dumb. When he's on this much of a losing streak and then going up in weight and fighting a champion, it's just crazy to me. The Oliveira one doesn't make sense, but I understand how they could manipulate casuals into thinking it makes sense. And Oliveira versus Conor is a winnable fight for Conor. I wouldn't favor him to win. I think he'd be an underdog. I would choose Oliveira to beat him. I think it's a winnable fight though. I think Oliveira gets hit easily in the first round. We saw it with Chandler. We saw it with Poirier. He was wobbled in both of those fights. Conor can crack. Conor hits hard. Conor can knock out Oliveira in the first round. And if he doesn't, it's going to be a messed up night for him. So I'm calling my shot there. I'm not saying Conor McGregor is going to be a champion, but I think we're all kind of counting him out. But I think he has a solid shot of becoming a champion still. If he misses that window, he's screwed because it'll be Islam Makhachev as champion in a few years, and then it's just going to be that's not a winnable fight for him. All right, my next hot take, Paddy Pimblett. Now, I think he's going to lose a couple times before even reaching the top 15. Let me rephrase that. He's going to lose a couple times before winning a top 15 fight. If you look at the lightweight division, it is just stacked. And I want to say he fought at featherweight and lightweight in the past. There's pictures of Paddy Pimblett right now weighing 200 pounds. He's not fighting at featherweight. I don't see that happening. And the top 15 at lightweight is just so stacked. If you look at the top, you have Oliveira, Gaethje, Poirier, Makhachev, Dariush, Chandler, RDA, Tony. Just a lot of name value, a lot of talent. Even at the bottom, if you look at the 10 to 15 range where he'd probably fight, when he gets his first top 15 opponent, you have Arman, Sakurian, Rafael Fiziev, Dan Hooker's in there, Riddell's in there, Ferreira, Gamrot. There's just beasts in that division, and we've seen Paddy Pimblett get cracked twice out of his first 2 UFC victories. I'm not trying to crap on the guy. I like Paddy Pimblett. I think he's going to be an exciting fighter, and he's going to put on a lot of great fights. But when you get punched that easily and you go against the top dogs in the best division in the sport, it's going to end badly for you. I probably should have started off with this one. It's the coldest of the hot takes, and it's just the fact that I think that KaraFrance is a tougher matchup for Deiveson Figueiredo than Brandon Moreno is. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that KaraFrance is going to win and become champion if they fight, but I just see it as one of those situations where Kai just barely fought Askar Askarov, who I think is one of, if not the best wrestler in that division, and he did a good job. It was a close fight, but Kai's kind of, his thing is anti-wrestling, and then he strikes on the feet, and he can crack. Listen, he knocked out Cody Garbrandt. I understand Garbrandt's been knocked out a lot, but he's a lot bigger, dude. He's a lot bigger, and Cody can hit. It's a good win. And Askarov is another really, really solid win. KaraFrance, I think, can pull out the wild man in Deiveson Figueiredo. I see Figueiredo wanting to just unleash hell on him, and I see that being just a brawl, and I think that's a brawl that KaraFrance can win. So, yeah, KaraFrance is a tougher matchup for Deiveson Figueiredo, and that's all I really have for hot takes here. I think those are good enough. There's some wild ones out there. There's some that are out there. What do you guys think? What are some UFC hot takes that you have? Which one of these that I told you is just absolute nonsense? And which one do you think I'm crazy for? Because these are pretty crazy. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like below. I have released 16 videos in the past 2 weeks. That's 14 days, 16 videos. I've been grinding on these videos. So if you appreciate that and you love the MMA content, be sure to leave a like. Be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications, all that good stuff. Buy some t-shirts if you're into that kind of stuff. That's the end of my spiel. Goodbye. Peace. Love you. Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson. Amanda. Duh. Next we got Artem Lobov. We're going to stick him right up at S tier. Just kidding.